Happy lunch hour, gang. All right, Tuesday afternoon, and stuff is insane. How long have we, I'm talking to public, not just us, complained about there's two sets of laws in this country? You know, one that Congress has to follow and one that the rest of the people have to follow. I mean, we could get into Nancy Pelosi's stock trades, for example, you know, insider trading or whatever. I mean, there's all sorts of commentary all over the place. We've talked about it here before, too. How many of you have paid attention to what's going on in England, where they have, or they're trying to put through, two sets of sentencing laws for committing a crime? One set of sentence guidelines for white males or Christians, and one set of sentencing guidelines for anybody that's not a white male or Christian. And oh, by the way, the sentences for the white male and the Christian in England are much more severe than if you're an immigrant, okay, a transgender young person of color or whatever. Okay, yes, you get a slap on the wrist. How many of you noticed the bill that they tried to push through in California? It fortunately didn't go anywhere, but it was on making traffic tickets, the fines based on your income. Okay. Now, give you this. If you get a speeding ticket in California and you're speeding somewhere between 1 and 15 miles an hour over the speed limit, the ticket and costs and everything for it is $234. Okay, yes, I looked this stuff up. The bill that they were trying to push through was that, well, if your income is lower, your fine won't be as much. So let's take, it would only be 5% of your income. So let's say the guy works at McDonald's and he's racing to get to work, and he gets pulled over for speeding, 10 miles an hour over the limit. Okay, so it'd be a $234 ticket. Except, no, because he only makes minimum wage, which of course in California is $20 an hour. And let's, for the sake of argument, say this guy works full time, so he makes $800 a week. 4 weeks in a month, he makes $3,200. Okay. His speeding ticket could only be $160 because it's 5% of whatever his monthly income is. So Joe software engineer up in Silicon Valley would have to pay $234, but Bob Burger Flipper only has to pay $160 for committing the same crime. Tell me there aren't two sets of laws. Okay. Fortunately, this did not pass in California. But then you get to the big one, and this is what's going on down in Texas. And we take a look at the whole case, if you will, that we've got with Karmelo Anthony murdering Austin Metcalf. Okay? This we can thank Barack Obama for, because race relations in the United States have gone completely off the deep end. And you can pin it all back to patient zero, which is good old Bathhouse Barry. Yesterday, Karmelo Anthony, who has admitted to murdering Austin Metcalf. So, whatever charge you want to give, first degree, second degree murder, manslaughter, whatever it is. He killed a man by stabbing him in the heart. Okay? Put your hand on your chest and figure out how hard you've got to go to get through all those ribs or your breastbone or something. You know where your heart is, right? It's right here. That you got to use some serious force. You also carried a knife onto school grounds. Okay? That's a crime in itself. But yesterday, a liberal judge decided to reduce Karmelo Anthony's bail from $1 million to $250,000. Now, if you guys know how bail works, you have to post 10% of that bail in cash. Okay. So on $1 million bail, he would have had to come up with $100,000 to get out of jail. On 250, got to come up with $25,000. Now, no doubt that's still not an insignificant small amount of money. But you're being charged with murder. The family, and I dumbfounds me to find out who the hell did this, started a Give, Send, Go campaign to pay his legal fees. They raised $400,000. And yet the family came up and said, we need the bail reduced, we can't afford it. You raised $400,000. On $1 million bail, you would have had to come up with $100,000. Somebody check me on my math here, but last time I looked, $100,000 is a lot less than $400,000, right? But you didn't have the money. Okay, got it. So they had to pay $25,000 to get him out. Why did they why weren't they able to pay the $100,000 that they would have had to on the $1 million bail? Oh, well, we're using that money for private security and to buy a new house because we have to move because all of a sudden there's racist attacks on us. We're worried about being attacked by racists. Oh, got it. So when your black son kills a white boy, that's not racist. But now when you need money, all those people are supposed to give you money so you can go buy a nicer house because of racism. Let me see if I got this right. So your logic here is whites can be racist to blacks, but blacks can't be racist to whites. Thank you, Barack Obama. I have no patience for racism, period. Okay? I don't care if you are black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Indian, whatever. You're a criminal. You're a criminal. Stop and think for a second. What would have happened? What would have been the narrative, the outrage, if a white kid stabbed a black kid in the heart? Oh, I don't know. Could we go back to Trayvon Martin? Could we go back to George Floyd? Oh my God, the outrage over a black kid getting killed by a white guy. Thank you, Barack Obama. We have a lot of problems in this country right now. Like I said this morning, we have liberals who are screaming how they want to kill Donald Trump, to kill conservatives, to kill Elon Musk. You know, Elon Musk was the savior a year ago. Oh my God, everybody needs to go out and buy a Tesla or something. Something like 90% of Teslas are owned by liberals. Just give you this, okay? Because we've got to save the planet, buy electric cars. Remember all that? Oh my God, Elon Musk is working with Donald Trump. Okay, we've got a firebomb. We've got a key. We've got to spray graffiti on Teslas now. Okay. Which way's the wind blowing today? That tells me what I need to do. But this race crap is worse. Because it goes back to this whole entitlement crap. And we hear about reparations. Again, there's not a single person alive that was ever a slave. There's not, at least in the United States. I'll give you that right now. There's not a single person alive in the United States that ever owned a slave. And only 1.3% of Americans 150, 160 years ago owned slaves. A lot of us didn't even have family here. But that narrative keeps getting talked about. Maryland has now got a bill up to pay reparations. Entitlement. We don't want to work. We don't want to follow the laws. We want special laws just for us. We want you to give us money. No. Sorry. You got 2 legs, 2 arms, and a brain, just like I do. How you choose to use it, whether you're white or black or Asian or Hispanic or Indian or Martian, I don't give a shit. Go out and get a job. Make your own way in this world. Nobody's responsible for feeding you, for housing you. I don't care about your, well, the circumstances at which I was raised. Okay. Tell that to Ben Carson. Black man, right? Raised in the projects, raised in the slums, the ghetto of Chicago. Who just so happened to become the world's greatest heart surgeon. I'd say your excuse falls on deaf ears. Gee, I don't know. Maybe you could be LeBron James. Don't even graduate high school and you wind up playing basketball and making millions and millions of dollars. Okay. They worked at something. Like LeBron James, like Ben Carson or not, gotta admit, they honed their craft, they used their ability, and succeeded in life, at least financially. Okay? Don't think either one of them is standing in line to get their money on their EBT card this weekend. You can say this anywhere, but the fact that we now have, I don't know, what have I said? Watch what happens in Europe and wait for it to come here. That we have sentencing laws based on race, based on religion. That we have speeding ticket laws, fines, that they're trying to base on race or religion, income, laziness. Sorry, I'm too lazy to get a job, so therefore, you can't fine me as much. I'm sorry, if the ticket's $234 for me, it's $234 for you. You don't want to pay it? Don't speed. There's a brilliant idea. But the fact that we are now allowing people who have admitted, confessed to murder to be back out on the streets. Oh, well, he posted his bond, and so therefore he'll certainly show up for court. No, not thinking that's likely. Why? Because he's not out any money. There was no financial pain for him or his family. You and me, obviously, I'm doubting anybody here contributed to the legal fund, but Joe Average is the one that took the risk. Joe Average never going to get his money back. Okay. What do they care? Well, we got $400,000 worth of free money. We gave $25,000 of it away. We still have $375,000 of it. Cool. We'll pay for our own security so we can walk around like we're, somebody important with our security guards taking care of us. Buy ourselves a new house. Okay, not that anymore $375,000 is going to buy you some mansion, something, but okay. Still going to get a nice house. They don't have any risk. They didn't put any skin in the game whatsoever. And some idiot, moronic, liberal judge said, nope, you know what? You murdered a man in front of hundreds of witnesses with a weapon you weren't even supposed to have on school grounds. You confessed to the crime, and $25,000 will let you out of jail. Oh, okay. Tell that to Derek Chauvin. Remember him? Okay. No different than all the judge that just said that Trump can't deport, rescind Biden's executive order to let the Haitians and Venezuelans and Ukrainians or whatever come in under this idiotic program that was so fraudulent it was unreal. No. We have a serious legal problem in this country. We have a race problem in this country, and we have a morality problem in this country. If you think it's getting fixed by tariffs or balancing the budget or voting or war, it ain't. We have a morality problem. That's the biggest enemy to everybody. It ain't China. It ain't the Democrats. It's not the communists. It's not the blacks or the whites or the Asians or whatever, or the Hispanics. It's not the cartels. The biggest enemy we have in this country is the people who have no morals. And you know what? That starts at home. We lost all that, the home, back in the 70s. That's when everything started falling apart. You look at the divorce rate in this country. You look at the single mother pregnancy rate in this country. It's sad. It's sickening. And I say that as somebody who's been divorced. But this is the problem. Surround yourself with people of high morals, and you'll be okay. Surround yourself with people of questionable morals, and this is the crap we get. Pinball out.